You know that feeling when you find a coin on the ground? That tiny little rush of, hey, free money? Now imagine looking up at the sky and instead of rain, diamonds are falling. Thousands of them, landing at your feet. That rush times a million. Well, that place is real. It exists. And it's not in some distant galaxy. It's right here in our own solar system. Two planets, Neptune and Uranus, are quietly raining diamonds into the dark right now as you're watching this. And I'm going to tell you exactly how it works, and then I'm going to tell you the twist, because there's a twist, and it's a good one. Those diamonds? Trillions of dollars worth of them? Completely useless. Nobody can ever have a single one. Stick with me, and you'll see why. But let's start at the beginning. What even is a diamond? Because we treat it like it's this magical, rare, holy object. It's not. A diamond is just carbon. That's it. The same carbon in the pencil you used in school. The same carbon in the black lumps of charcoal you throw on a grill. Chemically, identical. So what's the difference between a worthless pencil and a diamond worth more than your car? One thing, pressure. Squeeze carbon hard enough and the atoms lock into a perfect grid and boom, you've got the hardest natural material on Earth. Down here it takes millions of years, buried deep underground. Remember that word, pressure. It's the whole story. Now let's talk about Neptune and Uranus, the two planets nobody ever cares about. Everybody's obsessed with Mars, right? Meanwhile, these two blue giants out at the edge are hiding something wild. Their atmospheres are absolutely stuffed with methane. And here's the key. Methane is loaded with carbon. So the main ingredient for diamonds is just floating around up there in the air. It's everywhere. All it needs is a squeeze. And trust me, these planets know how to squeeze. So let's actually go. Let's dive in. Imagine sinking down through Neptune's atmosphere. Up top, it's cold, blue, kind of peaceful, nothing scary. But as you go deeper, two numbers start shooting up fast. The temperature, and there's that word again, the pressure. And I don't mean a lot. I mean the pressure down there is millions of times stronger than what you're feeling right now sitting in your chair. You want a comparison? Picture the entire weight of an ocean pressing on your chest. Got it? Now multiply that by 1,000,000. That's what's crushing the carbon down there. And that pressure works like a factory. It grabs the carbon atoms drifting in the methane and slams them together so violently that they turn into diamond. Real diamonds forming out of thin air deep inside the planet. Same exact process as under the Earth, just faster, bigger, and honestly a lot more dramatic. But here's the part that actually makes it rain. And this is my favorite bit. Diamonds are heavy, denser than everything around them. So the second a diamond forms, it does what heavy things do. It sinks. It falls, drifting down toward the center of the planet. And it's not one, it's billions. Constantly forming, constantly falling. A slow, silent snowstorm of diamonds pouring into the dark. That's diamond rain. And think about this for a second. It's been falling for billions of years, non-stop, and not one human being has ever seen a single second of it. Kind of lonely when you put it that way, isn't it? Okay, now the question you're actually asking. How much diamond are we talking about? Brace yourself, because the number is almost insulting. Scientists think these planets might make millions of tons of diamond per year. Not carats, the way we usually measure them. Tons. And the individual stones? Some estimates say single diamonds could weigh millions of carats. Let me give you a comparison so that lands. The biggest diamond ever found on Earth was about 3,000 carats, and it caused so much greed it ended up in a literal king's crown. Out on Neptune, stones 1,000 times bigger than that might be falling like hail, right now. And it gets crazier, if you can believe it. Some scientists think that as all these diamonds sink and gather near the core, they might pile up and even melt together into something you can barely picture, an ocean. A giant ocean of liquid diamond deep inside the planet with solid diamond icebergs floating on top of it. Say that out loud. An ocean of diamond that no eye will ever see. So at this point, be honest, you're already planning the heist. Fly out there, scoop up a bucket, come home, quit your job, buy an island. I get it. I thought the exact same thing. So let's actually try it. And I'll be straight with you, it fails. It fails in two totally different ways, and the second one is going to genuinely annoy you. First problem. You can't get to them. That same pressure that builds the diamonds would flatten you, instantly. Faster than your brain could even register the pain, you'd be crushed into a pancake. And before you go, okay, but a strong spaceship? No. The toughest metal ship humans have ever built would get crushed like an empty soda can long before it reached the diamond layer. Add in thousands of degrees of heat, and here's the grim reality. You'd die, squeezed into nothing, in complete darkness, long before a single diamond ever touched your fingers. The greatest treasure in the solar system sits inside a vault, and the lock is just physics. And physics doesn't take bribes. But fine, let's dream. Say you had a magic ship that could dive in, survive it all, grab a mountain of flawless diamonds, and fly you home safe. You land back on Earth, dragging the biggest fortune in history behind you. And here's the second problem. And honestly, this one's cruel. The moment you win, you lose. Here's the thing nobody tells you about diamonds. They're not expensive because they're pretty. They're not expensive because they're useful. They're expensive for one reason and one reason only. They're rare. There just aren't many, so people pay insane money for the few that exist. Actually, let me push that further, because it's wilder than you think. Even here on Earth, diamonds aren't nearly as rare as you've been told. Companies deliberately keep them locked away, releasing just a trickle, to keep the price high. The rarity is partly a trick. So that ring on someone's finger? It's worth what it's worth because someone made sure there weren't too many floating around. Now picture you crashing that whole system with a spaceship full of Neptune's diamonds. Then another load. Then another. Suddenly, diamonds are everywhere. Everybody's got a jar of them on the kitchen counter. And the second something goes from rare to everywhere, its value collapses. Your priceless treasure turns into gravel the instant it stops being scarce. The very act of collecting it is what destroys it. So you'd cross the entire solar system, survive something that should have killed you 100 times, and come home holding a giant pile of shiny, expensive-looking sand. That's the prize. And here's something that'll stretch your brain even more. Neptune isn't even special. Out there, way beyond our solar system, astronomers have found planets so extreme that it rains molten metal. Planets where the sky rains liquid rock. Planets where the wind is made of vaporized iron. Diamond rain is just one flavor of a much bigger truth. The universe is full of worlds doing things so strange they'd sound like lies if the math didn't back them up. This isn't a fluke. It's a pattern. So let's step back, because where this leaves us is genuinely strange. There are worlds out there, tonight, raining diamonds into the black. More wealth than all of humanity combined has ever counted, forming forever, sinking into oceans nobody will ever swim in. And every single piece of it is out of reach, impossible to grab, worthless if you ever did. A treasure that only stays a treasure as long as no one can ever touch it. And here's the last thought, the one I can't shake. Those diamonds aren't falling for anyone. There's no prize at the bottom, no reward, no point. Just carbon and pressure and gravity quietly pulling off something breathtaking in the pitch dark for no reason at all. And that's the universe in a nutshell, isn't it? It saves its most spectacular tricks for the places where absolutely nobody is watching. So, next time you look up at the sky, remember, somewhere out there, in the crushing dark of a blue planet you'll never visit, it is raining diamonds. Right now. It's been happening for billions of years, and now you're one of the very few people who actually knows it's there. And hey, if this blew your mind even a little, do me a favor and subscribe, because I go to a new impossible place in space every single week, and trust me, the next one is even weirder than this. I'll see you there.